is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. We're in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States. Had a little bit of time. Thought I'd go for a short walk and show Minneapolis today. It's been about a week since I last streamed. The last time I was walking around, we were talking about the blue line being closed. It is back again. You can see the light rails going by here. One went by just as I was starting. Looks like there's going to be one coming by in just a moment here. Doing a live stream. It's called Walking Minnesota. It's on YouTube. Yeah. Just walking around Minneapolis, Minnesota. Watching the trains go by. You want to say hi? All right, I'll flip it around here in a second. There we go.
How's it going? This is Minneapolis, beautiful city, as you can see.
All right, what's your name? Long Fit. Nice to meet you. I always love when people see me walking and say hi. So last week we were walking towards Nicollet Mall. I feel like I walk around there all the time, so trying to go a different direction today. Maybe going towards the river, seeing what's over there. I was reading a blurb in the Axios newsletter this morning. They were talking about potentially Waymo coming to Minneapolis, the autonomous rideshare company. Interested to see how that plays out. I saw them in San Francisco when I was out there a few months back. The ghost cars driving around the city. I also saw a report saying that they're actually safer and that the autonomous vehicles are getting into less accidents, and I think it was like 80+% less severe accidents or something like that. So could potentially be a good thing for pedestrian safety in Minneapolis, but we'll see. There's obviously, for me, the labor concerns around it. Who knows how we would support the people who currently make a living as rideshare drivers, finding a way to make sure that they can still be part of our society, live and thrive. But that's a non-industry specific issue going on right now with AI and automation. How do we keep humans valuable in our society if we don't have ways to make money? If we're teaching robots to drive for us and automate all these tasks, people still gotta live, right? Seems like we're creating all these things that can make it nicer, easier for us. Are we focusing on doing it for the goal of making the roads safer? Are we doing it with the goal of making our rides more efficient and getting less cars on the road? Or are we doing it just to make money for the companies that have the software and make the vehicles? see. Another concern I've seen brought up by some people, and one of my first thoughts around it was how they'll operate in winter, because they're currently operating in climates that are warmer and don't have the snow and ice like we do here. So I saw in that Axios blurb that they said they're doing maybe a pilot in DC and in upstate New York or something. So they're trying it out there. We'll see how that goes, and if it goes well, maybe they'll launch here. But they had hired lobbyists to try to work towards that. Dwayne says hello, everyone. Hey, Dwayne. Solo V84, beautiful day. Where are the gorgeous Nordic blondes? They're probably at work in their offices doing their gorgeous Nordic blonde things. Wilfredo, how's the weather up there? Oh, it's actually really nice. So we did have our first frost warning of the year today. It was walk, bike, ride day at Minneapolis public schools. So a lot of kids walking, biking, and walk, bike, roll, not walk, bike. So a lot of kids focusing on getting to school via walking, biking, rolling. If they took the bus, some of the kids would, walk around the school so they could have at least walked some distance. But that frost was a little chilly in the morning, but it's cleared up just fine now. I think it's mid-40s. I got a light coat on, a little bomber jacket, and very comfortable. Definitely, when I was riding this morning, I had to wear gloves. One of the kids had like the full dramatic face mask on. But hey, they're kids, they do well. So now, beautiful sunny day. Probably 40s, yeah. Wilfredo says, nice, no snow yet, huh? Yeah, not quite yet. We'll see how long before we get snow. I think typically it's a little later in the year, maybe a dusting here in October, here or there. I don't think it's ever snowed on Halloween in Minnesota. That's a fact, maybe. But yeah, typically a little later in the year that the snow starts coming. Across the street here, you have that Wells Fargo data center. I know Wells Fargo sold it a few years back, and it was going to be built into like 20-plus story mixed-use tower. And then that project fell through, and I think it was going to be multiple towers, and they changed it down to a smaller project. And now I've heard that the plan is to just swap it over into turning it back into a data center. So we'll see. The building and development in downtown Minneapolis is really slowed down. There's a big boom there around 2020 when interest rates are really low and we're in this highly stimulated economy. But the other shoe has fallen. DDS Curtis says, don't rush the snow. Dwayne up in Alberta, we have snow every month of the year. So there's only 1 month of the year in Minnesota that it has never snowed, and that is August. We'll see if that ever happens. So far, up to this day, there's no recorded August snowfall. Wilfredo says, I miss snow. Me too. I'm looking forward to it. I was watching this video last night that I had recorded in 2022, walking along Minnehaha Creek when it was frozen over. Just gorgeous winter day. And in the studio doing a session has called me out. Never snowed on Halloween in Minnesota. You gotta be trolling or too young to remember 1991. Yeah, I did not live here in 1991, but if there's one thing people in Minnesota will tell you about when it comes to Halloween, it's the Halloween blizzard. So yeah, in 1991 there was this big blizzard and Halloween. All the kids got to go trick-or-treating. I think school was canceled, went trick-or-treating in their Halloween costumes with the snow outfits over it, which is kind of a normal thing here. Not so much the snow outfits every time, but pretty often you have to wear a coat over your Halloween costume. Did any of you who lived through it remember your costumes that year? I think I was a dinosaur in 1991, but I was in Los Angeles, California at the time. I had this tail that was like stuffed with cotton, so it was like pointed out. Oh, I loved that costume. I thought it was just the coolest thing, this little green dinosaur costume. I'm a big Halloween fan. Love seeing the kids dressed up. Love seeing adults dressed up. Just people having a good time, putting on different outfits and enjoying themselves. I got to get up to Anoka, which is apparently the Halloween capital of the Midwest or something here. Do they say the Halloween capital of the world? Anoka, Minnesota has some sort of Halloween capital claim to fame. And I know they have a pretty big Halloween celebration up there and they go wild for it. There's like a parade, but I've never made it up. In the studio says, yes, the world. So they are world champions of the world when it comes to Halloween. Eat your heart out, Salem. Dwayne says the Rocky Mountains are in Alberta, so they can have snow there. I remember one August day where it was 0 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Snowfall melted fast as it warmed up. Yeah. The alpine snow can be that way. Definitely remember some of those days in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California where you'd visit during summer and occasionally there'd be that rare snowfall, but it would melt super quickly. This is the 3rd Avenue Bridge, Central Avenue Bridge. When I started doing this channel, it was closed under construction. I think it was down for about a year. It was a reopening celebration about a year ago. Really nice bridge, really good setup. Easy for traffic to get through. Nice bike lane. Good walking path. You love to see it. Over the one and only Mississippi River, the icon itself. Had a friend visit out here from California the other day, about a week ago, and they came out here for the first time because they had I think their partner had family out here, or had a friend out here, and they came to visit. And messaging me, wow, this place is incredible. I totally see why you live here, why you love it. They had walked around this Stone Arch Bridge area. Kind of fell in love with downtown Minneapolis, the Mississippi River waterfront. Dwayne says Manitoba to the north of Minnesota gets extremely cold in the winter. Alberta is like Colorado. All right. I remember this winter I was walking around up here. I did a stream before work one day. I think it was I was going into the office and might have been like 7 a.m. It was one of those like -10, -20 days. I don't remember what the exact temperature was, but freezing cold day. And was out here, and I remember this was all frozen over. Everything was iced over. Not the falls itself. Miserable cold. DDS Curtis says Stone Arch area is one of my favorites. Absolutely agree. If you're visiting Minneapolis, if you live here, either way, you gotta get to the Stone Arch Bridge as often as you can. It's a really pleasant spot. I haven't done the Heritage Trail walk since they opened it again. Used to walk that fairly often. That's the loop across the Stone Arch Bridge, along the riverside here, all the way up to the Hennepin Bridge here, on Nicollet Island, down St. Anthony, Maine, along this way, back to the bridge. It's a nice little loop, a couple miles, really easy, pleasant walk. If I ever do a compilation of like the top walks in Minneapolis, just to like have a resource for people visiting, and rank those out, that'll probably be number one. Jouster says, "Are you originally from San Francisco?" Not originally. I did live there for a while. I grew up in the LA area. There's a nice view from the bridge. Yeah, gorgeous out there. Definitely slowing me down because it's such a nice view. I was gonna try to walk across and go all the way to the Stone Arch Bridge and walk back across there, but I got caught up in enjoying the view and looking at the time. I'm not sure I'll have time for that today because I do have to keep it a little bit shorter. You have to get some work done in the next hour. Gorgeous view of downtown Minneapolis. In about 2 months, 3 months, January, February, anytime it's going to be this sunny out, you know it's going to be miserably cold because in Minnesota, a sunny day in winter means that it's colder. I was talking with someone from Colorado the other day about they had moved out here and how different the climate is here. How it snows a lot in the mountains up there in Colorado, but it's completely different. Like the snow here is sometimes like this like light, almost like crystal flurry type snow. Where up there it's like heavy and dense and wet. It's just different. Yeah, I haven't ridden my bike or walked down there in a few months. That's too long. Gotta get back out there. In September, they did this promotion. I don't know if it's promotion, but they held an event here along West River Parkway, and they had put pickleball courts all along the parkway. So they closed it down to vehicle traffic. And they had, I think it was like a pickleball tournament, or maybe just pickleball games. I think it was a tournament. Yeah, kind of a fun idea just to get people outside and doing something different. I had other stuff going on that weekend, so I didn't make it out. Dwayne says, a friend of mine used to live in Minneapolis. He mentioned all the lakes there. Yeah, it's really, really nice lakes here in Minneapolis. You know, throughout the city, except maybe, I mean, even northeast you're close enough, but south, southwest, west Minneapolis, downtown, all these, I mean, we have good access to the river as well, but chain of lakes and Lake Harriet and Makaska, Lake Nokomis, Lake Hiawatha, lots of great lakes in Minneapolis. Up there, Cedar Lake. Handful of them with really nice trails around them. I think Cedar Lake and Diamond Lake both don't have complete trails around it. I was listening to or watching, I don't remember, Wedge Live a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I saw that they had done a podcast where they tried to, in the podcast he walks onto, so the land around Cedar Lake is all technically parkland, but the park board had allowed people to make changes and do what they please with the land and put their docks out along the lake because they don't have a trail going the whole way around it. And he was with this guy and they started walking around the lake and went out onto this rock wall that someone had built and put up a little sign that said, "This is parkland." And I think a week or so later he did like a public thing where he invited people out to go walk around there with him. I don't think they made it around the whole lake, but really cool idea. Maybe one of these days I'll try to trek around the lake. Yeah, Cedar Lake is a beautiful one up there. We have Womney by the sous chef right here in the Waterworks building, which recently announced that they're going to be moving up ahead to the Guthrie Theater. It's a really well-regarded, critically acclaimed restaurant. So that spot that's been vacant for a few years inside the Guthrie, they're going to be filling that, and we'll see what new tenant comes into the spot here. I believe that's next spring that they're going to be moving. I haven't had a chance to eat at that restaurant. Everyone I know who's been there has really enjoyed it. Some have said it's pricey, but worth it. That it was unique enough to where they got the value out of what they were spending. Dwayne says, how's the music festival scene in Minneapolis? It is all right. So I think there used to be a lot more like smaller ones. So there was Rock the Garden at the Minneapolis Sculpture Garden at the Walker. There was the Basilica Block Party, like a variety of these ones throughout like the 2010-ish era. And then some of those have closed down over the years. Now we have one called the Yacht Club Festival on Harriet Island, which has held festivals throughout the years. That's sort of those older rock bands, I think, like the 30s, 40s, 50s type people. People who are 30, 40, and 50, not from the not from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. I know there's Breakaway Music Festival, which is like an EDM music festival outside of the soccer stadium in St. Paul. But yeah, no like huge festivals. There's a country music one out somewhere outside of the city somewhere, but I don't really keep up with that too much. But no, none of the like huge Lollapalooza style ones. Probably like second or third levels music festivals, but still a good time. I think there's some smaller ones that are like more camping based out in the woods. Love these bike locks. We've got I saw this new account pop up on Blue Sky recently. It's called like the Twin City Bike Lock Review, and they do different reviews of bike locks and encourage people to do reviews of bike locks. And I think I might have to review these ones sometime. This one's good. Could be a little low right here for this lock point. I don't know. It's got a few spots to lock. Guitar one. I don't know about that. I'm fearful. Fearful of how easily that could be cut. That could probably be cut easier than my lock. Music note looks alright. And the same biker one just pointed the other direction. They're good, they're creative. I like them. Fredo says Minnesota is awesome. Minnesota United, baby. Yeah, I enjoy Minnesota United soccer games a lot. Come on, you loons. I've been going out there, I think since I moved out here when they were playing at TCF Stadium. I think the team's doing pretty well this year, so looking forward to seeing what they do in the playoffs. Hopefully they can do well and maybe bring the first men's sports championship to Minnesota in 30 years or whatever. Oh, and there's more over here. Yeah, these are great. There's like a variety of different ones, so it's not just the same thing repeated. They're creative. I dig it. Yo, Ange, hey, why hello there from New York City. Lived in Minnesota for 15 years. All right. Hope you are enjoying your time in New York City. Ange said, the world takes you where it takes you. It sure does. I think, you got to have that mentality of enjoying where you are. New York City is a wonderful city. Minneapolis is great. It's just the world does kind of take you in separate directions. And rest of obviously, there's other issues that arise. Job markets, health issues, migration. Where you need to be is super important. Fredo says, miss Minnesota so bad. Married a woman from Texas, and now guess where I am. I'm gonna guess Texas. Hopefully somewhere in Texas with a soccer team. I guess they have Dallas and Austin. They have the two Texas teams there. There's Houston as well. So I feel like you've said you're in Houston before. I might be making that. But I hope that when that soccer team's out there, you can go see your favorite soccer team when they come to town. Got a notification popping up saying weak connection. So I made some changes to the streaming software last week. I was watching them back and they were a bit jittery. Wasn't super happy with the quality. So I changed a few things and swapped it out so I could hopefully be more stable. But it requires more data. Yo, Ann says, your channel was suggested to me because I'm a walking channel here. Great seeing another content creator in Minnesota. Yeah, well, I'll try to remember to check you out in New York there and see what you're putting out. That's actually, the New York walking videos are actually what got me started here. During the pandemic, I would watch those because couldn't really go anywhere and didn't have any money, didn't have the ability to travel. It was, we were all locked down, and I would have those on the TV, be it the Duluth live stream or walking in. I think I started with the Duluth live stream on the lift bridge camera there, and then eventually got suggested a New York City skateboarding stream, and was like, oh yeah, people should do this in Minneapolis. And then I looked around and there were a few people that had done them, but no one was super consistent with it. I don't think there were people that really talked that much, or did live streams where you chat. A few other ambient sound walking ones, which those are really cool. Just a different thing. I try to do both. Yeah, I love the New York City streams. Would not be doing this without them. Wilfred said Houston Dynamo is not that good. Yeah, they're bad. So I'm a San Jose Earthquakes fan first, and that's the team that used to be the San Jose Earthquakes, and San Jose is consistently also terrible. Dwayne also likes watching soccer, football, yeah. Andrew says, love the content. Any cool bookshops in the Twin Cities? Oh my goodness. So you've got you've got Birch Bark Books in the Kenwood neighborhood, owned by Luis Erdrich, incredible writer. You have to go to that spot. Birch Bark Books, incredible bookstore, probably the best one in the Twin Cities. I also really like Irreverent Bookworm in South Minneapolis. It's another really good one. There's one in the Skyway called Strive. I went in there, but they had changed locations. I don't know where their new spot is. Really good small bookseller there. Moon Palace over there in the Minnehaha area, across right next to the old burned down police station. Moon Palace Books is an incredible bookstore. But yeah, my top recommendations for bookstores would be Birch Bark, Moon Palace, Irreverent Bookworm, and the Minneapolis Center for Book Arts, which is like 2 or 3 blocks that way on Washington. There's like a whole book museum in there and stuff. It's awesome. I don't buy too many books. I still get most of my stuff from the Hennepin County Library, and lots of great books that they have there. They do all sorts of great programming. They have all sorts of great authors that come through and speak. Oh, if you're into romance, there's a whole romance literature focused bookstore here in Minnesota. which is pretty cool and unique. And she's taken that niche thing and made a whole career and successful bookstore out of it. And she does author speakings there, or author sessions with them as well. Unfortunately, the name escapes me at the moment, but if you search romance novel Minneapolis, that place will come up. Yo Ann says, yes, who do you watch? I may know them. The main ones that I used to watch, it used to be Wall Street Skate Bro, and then he switched it to Walks in Wall Street because he stopped skateboarding. And then Action Kid, I watched him quite a bit. Those are the two main ones in New York that I was familiar with. One of my favorite, Ann says, one of my favorite spots in the Twin Cities, the Mung Market in St. Paul. Damn great food and prices. Yeah, I want to get through. I've been wanting to record a walkthrough there for like 3 years now, but still I've been out there to eat, but never recorded there. I did see that Dave Kaufman, he's like a food blogger, also like a reptile blogger on YouTube. He's got 2 separate channels, both very successful. And he was just out there. Yo Ann says knows both of them. Cool people. Awesome. I need to read The Dream Giver. I'm unfamiliar. I'll have to look into it. It's about when you move to another place. Interesting. Unfamiliar. I'll also try to remember to look that up. Yeah. Put it on hold at the library. That's one of my favorite things about the library is, it's so low risk. You can go pick up a book and grab it and put it on hold. Go start reading it. If you end up not liking it, you didn't spend any money, grab another one. But obviously I want to support the authors as much as I can financially, but it's hard sometimes. Money's tight for a lot of us. We're all trying to get by. Hey, Yo Ann says, this is giving me such throwback vibes because I used to work at the Star Tribune. We're right there by the Star Tribune now. I was going to go back to work, but I will make a few minutes. I will extend the stream by a couple minutes to get over there. It's 1:06. Got to be somewhere at 2. Got about 20 to 25 minutes of work that I have to do before that. I'll be good. I'll be good. I was gonna take the stream over to Capella Tower in the Star Tribune building there for Yo Ann there. Says, remember when they were putting in the light rail? What is your day job? So I work in software sales. Yeah, so I work for a software company. But if you tell like 500,000 of your friends and they all watch these videos all the time. I'll just do YouTube once they, you know. I don't think that's it. Hey, Wilfredo worked at U.S. Bancorp. Not that one, probably the other one over on Nicollet. Yeah, they just renovated that building too over the last year. Opened it back up maybe 2 months ago, something like that. Very recently. This is the gorgeous Soo Line building. One of my favorites in Minneapolis. Do appreciate the request to walk by. Always a good choice. Was used to be the offices of the Soo Line Railway Company, and then has now switched to its housing. So a office to residential conversion from pre-pandemic. Shea Tower gets all the attention for the older buildings in Minneapolis. Gets a lot of the attention, but I like this one. Wilfredo says, "Man, I miss home so bad." That'll happen, but you gotta do the best with where you're at and live the life you can now. And maybe someday life brings you back here. Maybe it brings you back here and you end up missing Houston. I want to say it was like the tallest building in Minneapolis for like a matter of weeks, if I remember correctly. It was completed right around the time of the Shea Tower. Wilfredo says, "Isn't that IDS tower the tallest one?" Yes, it's the tallest current one. It's been the tallest since the 70s. Built by Johnson Berge. Philip Johnson and Berge. It's the Wells Fargo. IDS is right behind there. Oh, the clock. That's what keeps this going. It is not accurate. There is the Green Line train. Welcome back in Minneapolis after being closed in downtown for about 2 weeks there. But yeah, IDS has been the tallest one here in Minneapolis for 40, almost 50 years now. Over 40 years at least.
Okay. I used to drive through there.
And, would love to see some ambitious new development try to surpass that. We'll see. Definitely would have to see some continuing changes in the dynamics of remote work. Says, "Tim, have you lived in Minneapolis your whole life or have you lived elsewhere?" So I've lived most of my life outside of here. I grew up in California, in the LA area, then lived in Northern California for a bit. And as an adult, lived in San Francisco for about a decade, and then moved here close to a decade ago. What's a Cali boy doing in Minnesota? Trying to stay warm. It's funny. So, as your partner took you from Minnesota to Houston, mine took me from California to here. I was definitely after visiting here, I really enjoyed it and wanted to come here. So it was I was not dragged here. It was a choice, and I had we moved here a while ago, and I handle the cold better than she does. And says, I don't miss those freezing cold winters in Minnesota. Yeah, it's hard to miss them. I mean, it's nice being out in the cold for a day or two, and I love ice skating. I love being outside and seeing all the creative stuff people do in the snow and ice. It's inspiring, but I'm gonna miss summer. I love a nice summer day. When your car says negative 29 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm out. Yeah. Is Capella Tower. Alright, well everybody, thanks for tuning in. I do have to get back to work. I wish you all the best. Hopefully I will catch you on a stream another time. If you enjoy the channel, please do subscribe. If you know people who are interested in Minneapolis or Minnesota, feel free to share it with them. But most importantly, take care of yourself and have a great rest of your day. And hopefully I'll catch you soon. Take care.